Welcome back, everybody. This is Mr. Fatta, and in today's FattaCast, I'm going to show you how to draw a picture of a Doric column by aligning several geometric shapes on a vertical axis and shading to show the form of the overall object. This is the Parthenon, an ancient Greek temple built by the Athenians, finished about 438 BC, over 2,400 years ago. It's a prime example of classical Greek architecture. We're looking at what's called a fluted Doric column due to the grooves that run up parallel on the column. There are many different styles of columns from different regions and different times. The building is made from a building technique called post and lintel construction, where the roof is held up by a series of columns that support the weight. Here's a close-up view of a column supporting a section of the roof. Here you can see the column and then the capital, which is supporting the two beams above. To start, I lay out the basic geometric shapes, mostly a series of long horizontal rectangles of various sizes, with this curved shape near the top. As you draw your shapes, it's important to keep them perpendicular and parallel. To get the fluted effect, count out the number of flutes in the column. For this column, there are 8, but you'll see you could simplify the number. I'll draw 8 curves across the top of the column just under the bottom rectangle. I'll then darken some lines and shade the picture with a variety of grays. To get the fluted effect, I shade long crescent moon shapes that stretch from the curve above downward. Then I work to fade the flute shadow gradually to light gray until the next flute, gradually, and then I shade gradually again, lightening the shade to the next flute, and continue this pattern across for each flute in the column. Shade the rectangles gradually, dark on one side, and then gradually fade the color across, applying gradients to the shape. Finally, I'll add drop shadows where the rectangle would cast a shadow onto the surface below. To get the fluted effect, I shade long crescent moon shapes that stretch from the curve above downward. Then I work to fade the flute shadow gradually to light gray until the next flute, and then I shade gradually again, lightening the shade to the next flute, and continue this pattern across for each flute in the column. I'm going to try that again, this time simplifying the number of flutes in the column. To get the fluted effect, I shade long crescent moon shapes that stretch from the curve above downward. Then I work to fade the flute shadow gradually to light gray until the next flute. And then I shade gradually again, lightening the shade to the next flute, and continue this pattern across for each flute in the column. There you have it, everybody. I could draw a picture of a Doric column and the capital by aligning several geometric horizontal shapes on a vertical axis and shading them to show the form of the column. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in to this FattaCast. Hope you enjoyed today's FattaCast. Thank you for tuning in. How do I say it? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you again real soon. I don't know. That's our FattaCast for today. Join us next time. We'll figure it out.